Hey guys, welcome back. I believe this is going to be the last video aside from a deployment video, which I'll probably do next week or something. But what I want to do is add file uploading to our posts. Okay, so right now if we go to our dashboard and we go to create post, I want to put a file upload here. Alright, so we're going to go to our form, our create form, which is create.blade, and we're going to go right above the submit here, and let's create a div. We'll create a form group div. And we want a file field here. So we're going to use our Laravel collective package here and say form file, and then we just need the name, and we're going to call it cover image, cover_image. Now, whenever you submit a file, this is just a general rule, you need to have an enc type attribute in the form, and you need to set it to multi-part form data. So let's go right after the post here and put a comma, and then we're going to add an attribute of enc type, and we want to set that to multi-part /data and save. Alright, and that should give us a file upload button. Alright, now if we submit it, it's not gonna do anything, it's just the UI, so we need to handle this. Now before we get into that, we need to add another column to the post table. Alright, so we need a cover image column. So we're gonna create another migration. So let's go to let's see, I'm just gonna open up the terminal here. And let's say PHP artisan, and we're gonna do make migration, and then we're going to call it add, we'll say add cover image to posts. Alright, and then we'll go into the migrations folder and we'll open that file up. We can close this now, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the add user ID. We're going to add this schema table thing here. And then instead of integer, it's going to be a string, and then this is going to be cover image. Because when we submit our form, two things have to happen. One, we need to save the name of the image to the database so that we can access it later on and display it. And we also need to upload the actual file so that it knows where to look for it. Alright, so let's add that, and then we'll just copy that, put it in the down, and then we just want to do drop column. So let's go ahead and save that, and then we just need to run migrate. So we'll do PHP artisan migrate, and now if we look at our database, reload post table, and we have a cover image. Now what I'm going to do is just delete all of the previous posts. So I'm just going to do that from here just to make it easier. So we'll just say delete. Yes, and now we shouldn't have any posts for anybody. So if we go to blog, there's no post found. Alright, now let's handle the actual upload. So we're going to get out of the migration files here, and we're going to go to the controller, post controller, and you know that it submits to store. So right here, this is where the form submits to. And we can actually add some validation for our image. So we called it cover image, and we're going to set this to image, meaning that the file has to be an image. It has to be a JPEG or a PNG or a GIF, whatever the hell. But we also want it to be optional. We don't want the user to have to be able to upload the image. So we're also going to add nullable. Alright, and then we also want a max size, and I'm going to set this to 1999. And the reason for that is, with a lot of Apache servers, the default upload size is 2 megabytes. Alright, so if we don't set this, there's a good chance that they'll try to upload a bigger image, and it's going to just throw an error. So we're just going to set a max of 1999, okay, which is just under 2 megabytes. And then down here we have to do a few things. So let's say handle file upload. Alright, so we'll have an if statement here, and let's say if request has file, and then the name of the image, which is going to be cover image. So it's going to check to see if it was actually uploaded, if the person actually clicked choose file and selected something. And then we want an else. Alright, now if they didn't, then we're going to create a variable here called file name to store, and we're just going to set it to a static title called no image.jpg. So basically, if they don't upload an image, it's going to look at this default image and use that in the posts. Okay, and you can set this up differently if you don't want to have an image or something like that. Now, if they do submit it, there's quite a bit we need to do, and I'm going to show you how to get the file name with the extension. So let's create a variable called file name with ext, and we'll set that to request file cover image. Alright, so this will put the exact file name. If it's like myimage.jpg or myimage.png, this will get that for you, and you can proceed to add that to the database if you want. You could call it file name to store and then just keep going down here and submit it. But if someone else uploads an image with the same name, then you're going to have an issue. So it's not a good idea to actually use this. So what we're going to do is separate it. We're going to get, we'll say get just file name, and then down here we'll do get just extension. Alright, so let's create a variable called file name, and to get that, oh, you know what, I forgot one thing here. We actually have to set this to get client original image, and I know these are really long. It makes it look more confusing than it really is. So that gets the whole file name with extension. So here what we're going to do is set this to path info, which is a function, and we're going to pass in the file name with extension. And this is just path info, this is just PHP. This has nothing to do with Laravel. We're basically just extracting the name without the extension. Alright, and then we just want to then put in here path info underscore file name. Okay, and this is just using PHP again. It's just going to get the name. Now to get the extension, we'll say extension equals, and we're going to use Laravel for that. So request file cover image, and then we're going to do get original, client, and I think it's, let me just check real quick. Yeah, extension. Okay, so I don't believe Laravel has something that will just get the file name. That's why we just use path info here. Alright, so now we're going to create the file name to store. And we're going to do that by setting a variable, file name to store, just like we did right down here. And we're going to set that to the file name, okay, just the file name, and then we're going to concatenate onto that underscore and then the timestamp. Okay, so we'll use the time function, and then we're going to concatenate onto that a dot and then the extension. So we have to say dot extension. So what this will do is it'll call it the original file name underscore and then a timestamp, which makes the file name completely unique, so that if someone else uploads one with the same name, it's not going to overwrite anything or anything like that. Alright, hopefully that makes sense. And then finally we just want to upload the image. So to do that, we're going to set a variable called path to request file cover image. And then we're going to say store as, and then in here we're going to do public / slash cover underscore images. We're going to create this folder, all right, if it's not created. And then this is going to have a second parameter of the file name, which is going to be file name to store. And that should upload the image. So let me try to explain about the paths. So when we do this, when we say store as public cover images, it's going to go to, let's see, it's going to go, let me just close these. It's going to go to resources, and then it's going to go to, no, not resources, I'm sorry, storage, and then app, public, and it's going to create this cover images inside here in the public folder. Now this isn't accessible through the browser, so we're not going to be able to load the image. What we're going to do is set something called a symlink to the public folder, and then it's going to create a storage folder in the public folder. And to do that, we just have to run one simple command. All right, so let's open up our terminal, and all we have to do is say php artisan storage : link, and it says it's been linked. And now if you look in public, there's actually a folder called storage. So whatever we put into the storage here is actually going to show up there as well for us to use in our website. Hopefully that makes sense. Now down here, when we actually save to the database, we want to add post cover image, and we're going to set that equal to file name to store. So it's either going to be no image, or it's going to be the image with the timestamp. So let's actually try this out. We'll save it, and let's go to dashboard, create post, and let's call this post 1. We'll say this is post 1. Now I have a folder. Where did I put it? Is it on my desktop? Where the hell did I put it? htdocs. Actually, maybe I didn't. You know what? Let me just grab those images real quick. All right, so I'm just going to paste them on my desktop. So I just have some images which are just thumbnails to my videos, some of my videos on YouTube. So we're going to use those. So let's say choose file, and I'm going to go to desktop, and let's grab the Angular 2 one and submit. The cover image must be an image. Let me see. Let me actually look at the source code here. I just want to look at the form, make sure that we have this. So we have enc type equals multipart slash data. That should be form data. Let's take a look at the create. Let's see, where are we? Resources, views, create. Aha, okay, so this should actually be form dash data. And I knew that because I actually had that error before when I forgot the enc type. All right, so let's try again. Oh, we need to actually reload the whole thing. Let's make sure that didn't go in. All right. All right, so we're getting get client original image doesn't exist. So let's see, it's talking about this right here. Let me just make sure that that's right, which it probably isn't. It's get original name, not image. All right, let's reload and continue. Get original client extension doesn't exist. Then that's because it's actually get client original extension. I hate these long names they use. Reload, resubmit, post created. So now let's go into the database and look, and you can see we have angular2 underscore timestamp.jpg, so that's good. And then if we look in our storage folder, we have public cover images, and there it is. And if we look in the public folder, right here, cover images, there it is. So that works great. So now what we need to do is display it in our post, which is really easy. So let's go back to VS Code, and we're going to go to the index view, post index view, and I want to have the image on one side and then this stuff on the other. So inside this well, let's actually create a div with the class of row. This is just bootstrap markup, and then we'll have a div with the class of call md4 and call sm4. Alright, and then I'm going to copy that. We'll have another column, another div with 8 columns. Alright, and then this, the h3 and the small, I'm going to just cut out of there and put it inside the 8 column. And then we're going to have the image in the 4 column. Alright, so let's say img source, and then it's going to look into the in the public folder, and then we have our storage folder, so slash storage slash cover images slash, and then we have the cover image in the database, so we'll say post cover image. Save that. Let's also add a style here, and I just want to say width will be 100%. There we go. So now we can upload an image. Now we also want it on the show page, so I'm actually going to just copy this right here, and we'll go to our show view, and let's just put this right below the h1. Reload, and there we go. We'll put a line break after it as well, or 2 line breaks. Okay, good. Now you're also going to want to upload the image. You're going to want to take care of the edit form as well. So if we go to edit, you'll see there's no file thing here. So let's add that. I'm going to copy from the create. We're going to grab the file field right here, and we're going to go to edit.blade. Put that in right there, and we also need to add the enc type. Copy that. Put a comma, paste that in, save, and that should give us the file upload. Whoops. What did I do? Oh, I get 2 brackets here. Okay, so now we need to handle the update function. So let's go back to the post controller and go to update. And you know what? I'm actually going to copy everything we did in the store. So let's grab this, copy, go to update, go right here and paste it in. Now this is going to work a little different, because if they don't upload an image, we don't want to replace it with no image like they are here. So I'm going to get rid of the else. Alright, and then down here, we only want it to add if they actually created an image. So we're going to do this again. We're going to test for this. And if they did actually upload a new image, then we're going to do post, what am I doing? Post cover image. No, what am I doing? Yeah, post cover image equals, and then we want to set this to file name to store. Alright, so we'll save that, and then we should be able to, if we submit and we don't upload an image, it's not going to change. If we do, wait a minute, why can't I see the edit and delete buttons here? That's not right. Let me just check this real quick. User ID 2. That's really weird. we should, oh, just didn't scroll down far enough. All right, so let's go edit, and then we will change the image. Let's say view, submit, and the image changes. Good. Now the very last thing I want to do is when we delete a post, we want it to delete the image as well. So let's actually go to htdocs and go to our app and go to public and then storage, cover images. These are the uploaded images. So let's go back to VS Code. Wow, this video is getting long. And we'll go down to destroy. And we only want to delete it if it's no image. If it's not no image.jpg. All right, which I guess we have to look at that as well. So let's see right here. It's getting late. Right here, we're going to say if, because we don't want the no image to disappear, because we're going to need that in case someone uploads a new post without an image. So that's why we're checking for that here. So if post cover image is not equal to no image.jpg, then we want to delete the image. So to do that, we actually have to bring in the storage library. So up at the top here, we're going to say use illuminate /support/facades/storage. And if you ever want to check out the different libraries and all that with Laravel, you can easily look at the documentation. Everything I do is in the documentation pretty much. All right, so to delete, what we have to do is just take that storage object and we're going to call delete. And let's see, we're just going to pass in the location, which is going to be public /cover images / and then we want the image name, so we're going to concatenate post cover image, and that'll delete it. So let's try it out. We're going to go over here and click delete, post removed, and you can see the image actually got deleted. So the last thing we want to do here is make sure that if we create a post without an image, that it actually uses no image.jpg, which all you have to do is upload and it'll use it. So for instance, let's say post 1, this is post 1, and no image will save. And now nothing's showing here, but if we look at open image in new tab, it's looking for no image.jpg. So all you have to do is upload an image with that name and it'll use that. So let's just say no image. Okay, we'll just grab, I don't know, we'll just grab this, I guess. Wait, is that a PNG? I want a JPEG. So let's just save this, and we're going to save it in our public folder, which is here, storage, cover images, and we're going to save it as no image.jpg. Alright, so now if we go back and reload, that's what it displays, and it'll display that as long as you don't upload an image. So that's going to be it, guys. I hope that you liked this series, and again, if I missed something that's pretty important, let me know, let us know in the comments. I will look into a deployment video as well, so please share this series, like it, comment on it. Anything you can do helps a lot. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking with me through this long series, and I will see you in the next video.